4 weeks to go, the midterms are coming fast and there's a lot to keep track of. So we're going to help you make sense of it.
Today is the last day to register to vote in this year's midterm elections. I'll have more info coming up.
As the war in Ukraine continues, Russia is losing influence across Europe, even amongst allies. We'll tell you why ahead.
How would you like to be almost $500 million richer? The big lottery jackpot, that could be yours. We have all that and more as TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Good evening, Portage County. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kennedy Gotham.
And I'm Raygene English. Ready or not, here they come. The midterms are exactly 4 weeks away, and there's a lot to watch in Ohio this year.
We've got it all covered from last night's Senate debate and the teenager who could be the youngest representative in the state, and a walkthrough on how to vote in Portage County.
But first, Olivia Sharp is live at the Kent State Library with how USG is helping students register to vote.
And students only have a few hours left before the deadline. Olivia?
That's right, guys. I am here in the Kent State University Library where USG is helping students get registered for this year's midterm elections. The midterm elections are only a few weeks away, but today is the last day to register to vote in the state of Ohio.
If you don't vote for yourself and try to have your voice heard, then you can't really get upset about issues that you feel passionate about.
Despite many students believing that voting in midterm elections is important, the Portage County Board of Elections says that voter registration is down among college students.
I would say that it's not as many as we had in, let's say, 2016.
And the reason for this may be a belief of a broken system.
I don't really feel like the voting system works that well. I feel like popular vote would be a better option than, like electoral.
Or possibly not knowing voter registration deadlines.
Yeah, they know it's coming up, but they don't know what the deadlines are. They don't know they have to register by October 11th.
I'm probably just going to wait until the next one, though, if y'all ask opinion.
The Board of Elections has taken to social media to help inform students about voting.
We have a Facebook page that we try and post things on, encouraging people to register to vote.
If you are not sure you're registered to vote, you can check at voterlookup.ohiosos.gov. If you have not yet registered to vote, there is still time. USG will be helping students register until 8:45 p.m. Or if you would like to register online, you can do so until 11:59 p.m. So come on down to the library and grab a cookie. Reporting for TV2 News, I'm Olivia Sharp.
Thanks, Liv. So we talked about registering how to vote, but how do you vote in this election? You can vote by mail, in person before Election Day, or in person on Election Day itself. If you're voting by absentee, either by mail or in person in Portage County, you'll have to fill out an absentee ballot request by November 5th. You can do that online or in person, or have it mailed to you. Your ballot needs to be postmarked by November 7th or dropped off at the Board of Elections by 7:30 on November 8th. You can get more information on the Board of Elections website.
Sam Lawrence could be the youngest representative in the State House if he's elected. TV2's Matt Mergen talked with his campaign manager and has more on the candidate who wants to bring a Gen Z perspective to politics. Matt?
And that's right, guys. I spoke with Patrick Houlihan, the head political advisor for Sam Lawrence. Lawrence is a 19-year-old who is running in District 47 of Ohio. Sam Lawrence, a student from Miami University, is making a push for Gen Z voices to be heard.
It's important because that's an up-and-coming voting bloc. There's a lot of students, Gen Z people, that are going to make up a lot of the electorate, and they should have a say in the policy of the state, their municipality, their country. The most legislators are baby boomers. The next biggest group is Gen Xers. Next biggest group, millennials. It's time for Gen Z to step up and start having their voice heard like the baby boomers have their voice heard. They're making decisions for Gen Z, and we should make the decisions for ourselves and for our future.
Sam and his team are pushing for multiple forms of change through their campaign.
We want to support public schools. We want to build schools that work for our kids, schools that are safe for our kids, common sense gun laws. We want to start to fight to work on climate change, make sure that isn't a big problem for our kids and us in the future.
Patrick expressed how much Sam means to this team and District 47.
Sam's been out every day of this campaign, pretty much meeting constituents, meeting voters, meeting the people of this district, and he has their best interests at heart. He has the biggest work ethic I've seen from anyone. He balances school and the campaign perfectly. He gets all the schoolwork done, all A's, and then he puts an ungodly amount of hours into running this campaign. And it's inspirational, and he's one of the best workers I've ever met. So I'm proud to support him and work with him. And
Patrick Houlihan and the rest of Sam's team is encouraging students to get out and vote in the November 8th election. Reporting from the Franklin Hall studio, I'm Matthew Mergen.
Could Ohio turn blue? The results of the Senate race between these two candidates that will determine that. And last night, Tim Ryan and J.D. Vance debated for the first time.
TV2's Josh Bailey was in Cleveland for the debate and has more on what happened and what the candidates talked about.
For Ohio, I don't kiss anyone's ass like him. Ohio needs an ass kicker, not an ass kisser.
We're getting close to Halloween, and Tim Ryan is put on a costume where he pretends to be a reasonable moderate.
The race for the Senate seat is heating up in Ohio. Democrat Tim Ryan and Republican J.D. Vance have differing opinions on the overturn of Roe v. Wade and the state of abortion in Ohio.
We've got to have some moderation on this issue. He's got a very extreme position. J.D., you called rape inconvenient, right? Rape is not inconvenient. It's a significant tragedy.
Vance, on the other hand, says he's not as extreme as Ryan claims.
I am pro-life. I've always been pro-life. My view on this is, generally speaking, Ohio is going to want to have different abortion laws than California, than Texas, and I think Ohio should have that right.
The debate took a strong turn when Vance brought up a 10-year-old girl's rape case.
And I have said repeatedly on the record that I think that girl should be able to get an abortion if she and her family so choose to do so. The thing the media and Congressman Ryan, they talk about this all the time. The thing they never mentioned is that poor girl was raped by an illegal alien, somebody that should have never been in this state in the first place.
Some of the biggest differences of the night were drawn on foreign policy.
The fact that guys like J.D. Vance have said, I don't care what's going on in Ukraine. We cannot have a butcher like Vladimir Putin rolling into Ukraine. What he's done there is an absolute atrocity.
Nobody knows how we should respond if he uses nuclear weapons.
Vance repeatedly pressed Ryan on crime and policing in the country.
But at the height of the BLM riots, where they were rioting and looting and burning down America's cities, Ohio cities and small towns, Tim Ryan threw the police under the bus.
However, Ryan further explained his stance, saying,
we need more cops. We need better paid cops. And yeah, we got to get rid of bad cops.
The debate ended after Ryan and Vance offered their closing arguments to all Ohioans.
America's a great place, right? This country has fed more people, clothed more people, cured more people, and liberated more people than all the other countries in the world combined.
I think that people deserve certain things. Ohioans deserve certain things from their federal leadership. They deserve to go to the grocery store and be able to afford food without it breaking the bank. They deserve streets that you can walk down safely. They deserve a country that has a border.
Reporting from Cleveland, Josh Bailey, TV2 News.
Good Tuesday evening, Portage County. I'm Nathan Welsh with your weather forecast. Now, right now in Kent, it's 72, feels like 72. We're in that perfect temperature range of lawn sleeves and pants. And with our dew point at 37 degrees, that gives us our humidity at 28%. We got winds from the south at 7 miles an hour and visibility out to 10 miles. Now, as I look across Northeast Ohio, we have temperatures pretty much within the same 3 degrees. Nothing too noteworthy here. Again, like I said before, we're in that perfect temperature zone. I love it. I hope you love it. And as we look across the rest of Ohio, what do you know? It's also the same. Of course, Cincinnati, always being Cincinnati, it's 1 degree warmer than everywhere else. And as we look into tonight, it's just going to be cloudy and it's going to be cool. Nothing too fancy. We got some clouds rolling in. It was a pretty sunny day, if you would agree with me. And with those winds I mentioned before from the south, that sunset at 6:50. So as soon as this ends, I want you to go outside and watch that sunset. Now that is all for now, but stay tuned. I'll have your 7-day forecast and more after the break.
We have breaking news tonight. The 8 Akron police officers that shot and killed Jalen Walker have returned to active duty. Within the last hour, Akron Police Chief Steve Milet said officers will be on administrative duty. That means they will not be in the community on patrol. Once the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigations finishes their investigation, they'll send the case to the Summit County Grand Jury for evaluation. And Kent State announced a new program to help college athletes adjust to life after college sports.
NATO is not party to the conflict, but our support is playing a key role. Allies remain united in their support for Ukraine's sovereignty and self-defense.
There are calls for a resolution of conflicts between Russia and Ukraine. More details on that after the break.
The College of Public Health at Kent State University prepares students for careers in some of today's most exciting health fields. Public health professionals impact lives by monitoring clinical trials, advocating for mental health, supporting active lifestyles, and more. The College of Public Health also offers open courses for any major, including its most famous course, Zombie Outbreak. Public health students can even study abroad and are encouraged to join the Public Health Student Alliance. For more information, visit kent.edu/public health. Public health, solving our problems together.
More than a year after the Supreme Court said colleges and universities could offer more benefits to student athletes, Kent State has announced a new benefits program called Ready Flash, and it will help student athletes transition into life after sports. It will offer benefits to help students pay for educated-related expenses. Ready Flash will launch in the fall of 2023.
We are 20 days away from Halloween, which means trick-or-treating. Dates and times for places in Portage County have been released. Ravenna and Streetsboro will have trick-or-treating at different times on Saturday the 29th. Stowe and the Summit County will also have trick-or-treating on the 29th. October 30th is trick-or-treating day in Kent, and Aurora is the only one in town in Portage County that will have trick-or-treating on Halloween itself from 6 to 8.
And if trick-or-treating isn't your thing, what about a 5K? This Saturday is the annual Barktoberfest 5K race and 1-mile fun run in Rootstown, and you can bring your dog. It raises money for the Animal Protective League of Portage County for things like animal care, food, and toys. The run also has a costume contest, fall-themed corn stalks, and pumpkins with pets. It starts at 11 a.m. in Grace Fields in Rootstown.
Leaves are falling down across the state as we enter the fall season, but it turns out Northeast Ohio is lagging behind a little. According to the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, the northern part of the state is still in the process of changing leaf colors. They say it will begin in a week or so until the trees are at their peak color for the fall.
Hello again and welcome back to the weather. I'm Nathan Welsh. Now we're looking into tonight. It's going to be 50s, coming down to 52. It's not going to be clear, it's going to be cloudy. And yeah, just clouds that are going to be rolling in as we look into tomorrow. More clouds, not going to be as toasty as it was today, only up to 69, which is still good. And as we look into our 7-day forecast, it's fall break, baby, from Thursday to Sunday. And I know I'm excited. I know everyone here is excited. Get to go home. Of course, however, there is going to be some rain rolling in, 52%. We got morning showers on Thursday, 60, 38. We're getting a little chillier and those trends are going to persist. And I know you can see it behind me here on Tuesday. It's snowing, I guess. 46 and a low of 34, which basically means it's probably going to get a bit colder. And who knows if it's actually going to stick to the ground or anything. I don't want it to. I don't know who would. But we have fall break just around the corner, and with it brings some fun and exciting weather. I've been Nathan Welsh reminding you, Portage County, to go out and enjoy it.
At least 14 people are dead and 97 wounded after a Russian missile struck in Ukraine Monday. They hit residential areas during the morning rush and sent children and other civilians running for their lives.
CNN's Amy Keeley reports on the U.S. and its allies' response to the current situation.
Outrage is growing over Russian missile strikes on Ukrainian cities.
I've just seen how the missile was flying overhead, and I heard that sound.
My kids were literally 800 meters away from the bridge when the Russian missile hit it in the downtown Kiev.
The U.S. is working with allies to craft a unified response. Today, President Joe Biden is meeting virtually with other G7 leaders, and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is heading to Brussels, according to the Pentagon. He's scheduled to attend meetings with the NATO Ministers of Defense and Ukraine Defense Contact Group.
We're begging you for more air defense systems. That is the crucial element of our survival right now.
National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby says Biden discussed air defense with the Ukrainian president yesterday. He says additional support packages for Ukraine are likely in the near future. And later this week,
the task of the West is not to offer an off-ramp for Putin.
the United Nations will vote on whether Russia's annexation of 4 areas in eastern Ukraine breached the UN Charter. Many Ukrainians are responding to the attacks too, with resolve.
They will not win. We will not be scared and we will not surrender.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
President Putin is failing in Ukraine. His attempted annexations, partial mobilization, and reckless nuclear rhetoric represents the most significant escalation since the start of the war. And they show that this war is not going as planned.
Putin calls for a resolution of conflicts despite him starting the war on Ukraine. After the continued war against Ukraine, the former Soviet Union is no longer in support of Putin. Central Asia also says they see Russia's role decreasing after losing support from other countries. And many countries surrounding Asia remain neutral on the war in Ukraine.
Russia has declared Meta a terrorist organization. Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, has been banned in Russia according to Federal Monitoring Service and has been added to a list of organizations involved in terrorism and extremism. The ban will require banks to freeze funds to Meta and suspend account services. The ban comes after a Moscow court back in March declared Meta as an extremist organization that allegedly allowed Ukraine users to call for violence against the Russian military.
The Cleveland Guardians continue their playoff run tonight. Stay tuned for a breakdown against the Yankees coming up after the break.
And an 88-year-old woman skydives thousands of feet out of a plane in memory of her late son.
Are you tired of razor bumps and burn?
Too busy to shave every day?
Ditch the razor. Treat yourself to self-care that's smooth.
New Waxing Center, across from Ravina Walmart.
Less than 15 minutes from KSU.
Not ready to part ways with your hair?
Choose skincare with our custom facials and age-defying treatments.
Call to book a reservation
at Universe Luxury Waxing Center at 330-548-9570. 330-548-9570.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Hey there, Portage County. I'm Josh Aponte, and we got us a Kent State golf update and some Monday Night Football highlights. So let's get right into some sports. The Kent State golf team continues their battle on their second day of the Bank of Tennessee Intercollegiate. The Golden Flashes gained a stroke, but lost a place, finishing tied at 10th place with Toledo with 1 day left in the competition. They were led by Bryce Reed, who competed individually, finishing Monday with 2 strokes under par and a tie for 20th place. Kent will be taking on Augusta and MAC rival Toledo today to finish up the Intercollegiate. And there was an exciting matchup between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs last night for Monday Night Football. Let's take a look at the highlights. All right, we're going to get started here in Kansas City. We got Patrick Mahomes, we got Derek Carr. It's going to be a battle for the ages. The Raiders will get on the board first as Carr will connect to Davante Adams. And Adams, he's just going to jog it into the end zone for the touchdown. We'll take it to the second quarter, and the Chiefs will finally answer back with this dime from Patrick Mahomes. He'll find Travis Kelce in the end zone. That'll be a touchdown. The Chiefs said, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. They'll run it back. Mahomes to Kelce. That will make it a 3-point game. Raiders lead 20-17. Kansas City will come right back at it again, and you know what they say, 3, that's a magic number. And that will be Kelce's 3rd touchdown of the night, courtesy of Patrick Fortnite Mahomes. And just when you thought it wasn't enough, Mahomes will connect to Kelce yet again. It looks like they're playing Madden out there. Finally, the Raiders will start to get something going with this huge touchdown pass to Davante Adams in the end zone. And that'll give me some fantasy points. And the Raiders will go for 2, and it's not good. And the Chiefs will hold on to beat the Raiders 30-29. And the Cleveland Guardians will continue their playoff run tonight against the New York Yankees. After sweeping the Tampa Bay Rays in the wild card round, the Guardians will be starting pitcher Cal Quantrill on the mound. Quantrill has had himself a year with an ERA of 3.39 and is staying undefeated at Progressive Field for the entire regular season. The Yankees will have Garrett Cole on the mound tonight. He finished this season with a 3.51 ERA. The first pitch is scheduled tonight at 7:30 p.m. at Yankee Stadium in New York. And that's all I have for sports, but make sure to follow us at TV2 KSU Sports on Twitter. I'm Josh Aponte saying beat the Yankees and go Guardians.
If you're trying to get lucky with the lottery, stick with us to find out how much the Mega Million jackpot is.
An 88-year-old woman in Kentucky jumped thousands of feet from a plane in memory of her late son.
CNN's Jamie Mays has the story.
It's never too late in life to reach new heights.
Life is what you make of it.
And at 88 years old,
am I going to be sitting on there?
Yes, ma'am. Bernadette Fife has never soared higher.
I've never tackled anything like this before, and it's interesting.
Now she's taking the 10,000-foot plunge at Skydive Kentucky in Elizabethtown in honor of her son, Bobby Lynch. He died in a car crash in 1979. In May, he would have celebrated 6 decades of life.
We miss him. We think of him every day. He was 16 years old, just prime of getting ready to live life.
Out of Fife's 5 living children, 4 of them have skydived for their 60th birthday. Her son says this is more than a thrill. It's a chance to connect with family.
I mean, with me being in Florida most of the year and stuff like that, we don't have the connection like everybody up here does. But when it's homecoming, it's homecoming.
Although Bobby Lynch isn't there for the reunion, he's still a part of the celebration.
I mean, he's up there now, and we're going to get closer to him when we jump.
Fife says each jump is a reminder to cherish time while you're living.
We don't get out and see things at times and just to get out and enjoy.
And never let age get in the way of your goal.
If you're looking to try your luck at the lotto, the next Mega Millions drawing will take place tonight. The jackpot has now reached $44 million or $226 million cash payout. If a winner is drawn tonight, this would be the 12th largest jackpot in the game's 20-year history. The last jackpot won on July 29th was nearly $1.4 billion, if you can believe it. That was the second largest prize in the Mega Millions history. I guess this is the $1 million question. What would you do if you won the Mega Millions.
Well, if I had that kind of money, I'd buy all kinds of cars and motorcycles. I'd have the biggest garage, folks.
I would probably use some of it for investment properties just so I can not, reach zero.
That's really smart.
And, maybe I would continue my last 2 months in my degree, or maybe I won't.
I don't know what my long-term would be if I won the jackpot, but first thing, I'm going to Disney World. Easily.
Yeah.
What about you, Kennedy?
I mean, I kind of agree with getting some real estate properties. That's a good idea. But that is all the time we have for you today.
Thank you for joining us.
For all these updates on all these stories and more, visit our website at kentwired.com.
And our social media on all platforms at Kent Wired. I'm Josh Aponte.
I've been Nathan Welsh.
And I'm Raygene English.
And I'm Kennedy Gotham. Have a great night, Portage County.